I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, and then Sherry's going to unmute herself.
Oh yeah, this can wait.
So I think if I read Congregation Bethel's announcements, I think they were doing their Tu B'Shvat uh, kind of Shabbat thing this week. We did our Tu B'Shvat thing last week. So if you're expecting that, you're a week late, but that's okay because we're going to have a wonderful service anyway. Um, so we're going to get started. So if you have your candles at home to light, let me turn off that
The doorbell.
the doorbell because that's just slightly annoying. Um, okay, that's done. All right, so let's light our candles together, and then Sherry is going to lead us in singing the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
I'm hoping my candle will be happy. Ah, there we go.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Just a reminder that if you are following along with Mishkan Tefillah at home, if you have a Siddur at home, that's Mishkan Tefillah, then we are on page 3, which is either at the bottom or the top of most of the slides, unless I'm bringing in some poetry from some other source, and then there won't be a page number. And that's kind of how you'll know that. There won't be a page number. So you don't have to say, oh, where am I in Mishkan Tefillah, because we're not on a page. All right. So, and if you still are among those who don't have a Mishkan Tefillah at home, you can borrow one from the temple. Just give Roberta a call at the office and arrange a time to pick one up, and we'll be glad to loan you one. And then you just bring it back when we are actually able to come together at the temple for services again. So we're going to begin our Kabbalat Shabbat with L'chu Naranana, which down at the bottom tells us we're on page 12.
L'chu Naranana, lai 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 lai, Adonai, lai 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 lai, Maria, lai 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 lai, L'tzur Yishenu, lai 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 lai,
This is a poem by Rabbi Karen Kadar. Hold the pose, my teacher said, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Push against the resistance. Sometimes waiting is knowing. Sometimes you have to live a little longer to understand. It's called unfolding. The pause, the long inhale and exhale of living. The waiting. Push gently against the edge, that sacred place, that thin, ethereal, fragile line between can and can't, where God touches us with possibility. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Holding, held.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל עם אחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon.
Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'erez ba'levanon yizgah shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenun b'seva deshenim v'ra'ananim yiyu v'hagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri tzuri v'lo alav tabo.
Dear God, ruler of all things, of destiny, of human endeavor, guide me that I may serve you and be in service to the highest good. Call upon me, pursue me, I am here. Let's rise in spirit or body and spirit for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light.
There are always at least two horizons, the one upon which the sun sets and the one that proclaims God's majesty. An arch of radiant glory, visible only to those who choose to fly above the clouds, above the mundane, above the steady ticking of the clock, to soar in silence and love. The brilliance of forgiveness, the wonder of gratitude, the luminance of love, all shine without fail, from the horizon of the earth to the horizon of the heavens, reflected in your heartbeat and in the well of your eyes, emanating from the soul of the universe.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת, אהבת עולם, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם, אותנו לימדת. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגן יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אהבת עולם, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. 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 ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Adonai Yaakov, ugalo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Next time we join together at the synagogue, we're going to make that verse come to life. But it'll be all of us dancing together with timbrels.
I like that.
What do you think, Sherry?
I love that idea.
That's going to be fun. That is going to be fun. We can dream of that for now.
Yes.
Unknown lands. So many unknown lands arise from the glorious earth. So many undiscovered peaks rise from my beating heart. This is the journey, the place we climb above the clouds, the place where we enter our own wisdom and grace, to see the sunrise, to watch the sea shimmer with morning light. This is where we meet our holiness, our love, and our surrender. God of old, guide me through unknown lands, the territory beneath my feet, and the horizons that call my soul. Let my passage be for righteousness. Let my passage be for healing. Let my passage be for wisdom and for grace. Let's rise in spirit, or body and spirit, for tefillah.
ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and to do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let the worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod.
We give thanks to you. We give thanks to you, for you are our Creator, compassionate one, for your everlasting acts of love. Merciful one, for your goodness never ending, we will always yearn for you. We will always yearn for you. Do-do-do-do-do, 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 מודים אנחנו לך. מודים אנחנו לך, peace to you. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. מודים אנחנו לך.
Peace will come through the grace of God and the work of humanity. Compassion and kindness, forgiveness and love, patience and gratitude, justice and mercy, empathy and understanding, each an act of yearning, each a deed of longing for wholeness and tranquility in our world. You who makes peace in the highest heavens, guide our hearts and our hands in service to each other and your world, to bring peace to all the nations of the earth, all people everywhere.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon Lecho Shalom, ki ata hu melech adon, Lecho Shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
We'll take a few moments for silent meditation.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
I miss singing that with you, Sherry.
I miss hearing you sing it with me.
All right. So we're in our Torah readings. We're working our way through the book of Exodus, and in our parashah for this week, Bishalach, the Israelites have been told by Pharaoh to get out, and now they're getting out. And they're in the very beginning of their journey, and God has not had his um, way enough with Pharaoh, the master of all slave masters, yet. He's got one last thing that he wants to do to Pharaoh. I've referred to him as the slave master of all slave masters. And, we should not think of Pharaoh as any particular Pharaoh. And actually, it's really hard to match up the history to come up with one that we might choose, but to match this story that we have in Torah with the archaeological evidence that we have. But it doesn't even matter, because we're not talking about any one particular ruler, and we're really not talking about any particular people, Egypt. We're talking about those who wish to enslave others, and a place, not a physical place, but that place of oppression, that place of being a slave. And so the Israelites are getting out of this place, and God's got one more thing that God wants to do to ensure that the Israelites do not look back, do not go back to the place that God has just had Moses lead them out of. So what does God do? He actually has the Israelites turn around momentarily, and they camp and rest a little bit. But they're by the sea, and they can see the Egyptians, Pharaoh's army, coming towards them. And now they're anxious. What did we do? They're feeling the intense anxiety of who the taskmasters, the um, slave masters, have now turned into the enemy. And so now the Israelites are wondering, did we do the right thing? Shouldn't we have just stayed in Egypt? Wouldn't it have been easier just to stay there, just to work our jobs? Yeah, they didn't give us much, but boy, at least we knew that they weren't going to give us much. And what do we face in front of us? We have no idea. We don't know if death awaits us, starvation awaits us, whatever is out there in the desert that we can't even see. And so here they are in this place. What do we do? They're frozen. This anxiety has frozen them. They cannot move. And they're crying out to Moses, "What have you done? How did you lead us here? What's going to happen now?" And the next voice we hear is God's voice instructing Moses. And he says, God says, "Why do you cry out to me? What are you doing crying out to me?" Now, the text says God is speaking to Moses, but we really imagine Moses is the intermediary here. And so God has heard all of the things going on in the heads and the hearts of the Israelites. And He's saying, why are you calling out to me? I've gotten you on the journey here. You have seen all of the things that I have done. I have given you a leader, Moses, and Moses has the tools to lead you, exemplified by the staff that got thrown on the ground, that turned into a snake, the staff that made the Nile turn to blood. It's not really the staff, it's the power represented by the staff that's doing all of this. But you've got the leader, you've got your leader has the power to lead you and the wisdom, and I've got you on your way. Now, get up and go. Go forward. Go forward. And this is the call. Go forward. Don't look back where you were. Don't be paralyzed by the anxiety of knowing oppression, knowing your starvation of the soul, but being afraid because you cannot see over the horizon. Over the horizon is a promised land that we can imagine. We can imagine it. We cannot see it, but we can imagine it. We can envision it. And if we can envision it, we can make it happen. Go forward. Go forward. Don't be paralyzed. What a message, even for today. A day when we can still look backwards and say, what a mess. But we can imagine something much better over the horizon. We have the leader. We have the tools. Let's go forward and go forward together. Let's turn our thoughts now to those in our community who are in need of a healing of one type or another, a healing of the mind, a healing of the body, or a healing of the spirit. First, I want to mention all of those healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, uh, all of the different kinds of people that are in the hospital, phlebotomists, and oh my gosh, there's so many physical therapists and respiratory therapists. Everybody has been working, so many social workers, um, custodians, everyone who's been working so many long hours to take care of those who are not well. And our hearts go out to them and our prayers go out to them in their exhaustion doing this work. We also think of these on my list here, and I'll remind you that if you have other names that you would like to mention, you can put them in the chat and I will read them at the end. And I know that there are certain people who keep getting put into the chat. If you want them on the permanent list here, just let me know or send Roberta a message at the office and we'll put them on the list and then you can not have to type them in. We would love to do that. So we remember, we think of these people as well. Rivka Bela, Don Bendick, Randy Bennett, Jerry Block, Roz Block, Irene Brickman Smith, Ethel Chatkin, April D'Amato, Randy D'Amato, John Donnarumma, Henry Dunkerley, Deborah Eichler Elliott, Julie Engelman, Jim Franklin, John Frank, Lori Gallup, Renee Genero, Susan Greenhall, Trudy Hans, Hank Kuznicki, Sue Lufglass, Sharon McCaffrey, Teresa Nocerino, Ellen Shepard McKinney, Katura Bot Avigdor, Cheryl Pionk, Jen Rockwell, Arnold Roseman, Marlene Roseman, Florence Rowe, Edie Saffman, Gail Shore, Marvin Schnorr, Carol Seaman, Eric Senges, Claudia Shapiro, Philip Shapiro, Alvin Schur, Addison Shagru, Helen Sylvester, Rachel Wichman, Gamliel Reuven Bat Malka, Michaela Bat Rivka Bela, Hanuch Ben Esther, and all of those who are suffering from COVID-19. Also think of Mike Potash, Cynthia Furman, Albin Krupa, Cornelia Cregan, Joey Kern, Rhoda Kaplan, Buddy Magid, Harvey Martin, Faye Rudick, Deb Schultz, Marianne Lavo, Bob Mead, and Leno Johansson.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. God grant me the courage to change the things I can, and God grant me the wisdom to know the difference.
So we'll rise now in spirit or body and spirit for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא עשנו לשומרי האדמה, והוא שמנו לשליחי התורה, שהוא שם חיינו איתם, וגורלנו עם כל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please remain standing for just one moment. We remember these with your sight in the coming week. Myrna Weiss, Phyllis Adler, Carol Blaze, Frank Church, Abraham Irving Epstein, Ruth Freeman, Uni Friedel, Elizabeth Glenn, Esther Hoffman, Gladys Ilson, Alan Kaufman, Paul Crete, Jules Levine, Francis Ogulnik, Sophie Pagnas, Henry F. Pudala, Sigmund Saul Rosenholtz, Dorothy Segul, Harriet Siegel, Isaaca Zelda Siegel, Rochelle Tripp, Erwin Tuchfeld. We also remember in Shiva, Benjamin Rosenfeld and Jean Gladstone, and also our hearts are with Lenore Case, who just lost her husband, Stuart Case. We rise as one community for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam almei almaya. Yit barach v'yish tabach v'yit ba'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh, v'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit alal Shemei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom v'romav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing in our lives always. For our closing song, several announcements for you. First, you still have time to order your Mishloach Manot. These are the gifts that we exchange for Purim. And each year we have a fundraiser where you can contribute money, and then we will prepare Mishloach Manot little goodie bags, and we'll distribute them to the friends that you tell us that you want to send them to. So look for that information in the bulletin. And if somehow you read the bulletin, you put it in the recycling already, then go to the website tewaterford.org and you can electronically see the bulletin, no problem. So get your order in, and that ordering closes on the 14th, I believe, of February. So the sooner you do it, the better it is for Deb Linder and Roberta. And we're also going to need some volunteers to help deliver the bags around town. So if you can help out with that delivery, that would be super wonderful. What a mitzvah. Be in touch with Deb or Roberta. I also want to remind you that tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we're having our Havdalah. And what are we doing this week, Sherry?
We're doing something for Tu B'Shvat.
Okay. All right. Something with trees. Something about trees.
Something with trees. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. And then on Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m., we're having a vaccine and vaccination forum, and we've got some really wonderful, great speakers coming to share their knowledge with us. Dr. Kevin Torres, he's the Associate Chief Medical Officer at L&M Hospital. Dr. Ethan Weiner, who is with Ledgelight Health District in the Reserve Medical Corps, also is practicing physician and just recently retired, but also worked many, many years in the pharmaceutical industry. Also, our own Jonathan Rowe, who many of us know is a pharmaceutical expert himself, and particularly with trials and how all these things work and how we know that the trials actually tell us something. And then we'll also have Jennifer Mugeo from Ledge Light Health District, and she is expertly knowledgeable about how, all of the processes that are going on right now to try and get the vaccines into the arms that they're supposed to go into. And that is a complicated process, one that I know that a lot of people are struggling with right now with trying to make their vaccine reservations and all that good stuff. And you might have a lot of questions about that. So you'll be able to ask questions. It will be a webinar format, but you'll be able to submit your questions in a chat, and I'm going to be the moderator for the evening, and I'll try my best to get all of your questions answered. So join us Sunday night at 7 p.m. Another new program we've got. Harvey Snitkin, bless his heart, is going to be starting something called Locks Down Lunch. Locks, locks, that good stuff, right? Locks down lunch. If you're going to be locked down, you want to be locked down with locks. So keeping that in mind, Harvey is putting together a lunchtime music and schmoozing for seniors and anybody else who's locked down, locks or not. And that'll be starting on Fridays, this coming Friday, the 5th at 12 p.m. So look for the links on our calendar, temple calendar, tewaterford.org. And then a really wonderful program, Claire Warren is giving a Jedi talk at Congregation Bethel on February 3rd, I believe, if I got the date right. Is that right? Claire, unmute yourself. Tell us if that's right.
That is correct. It is at Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, and I think it's 6:30 to 7:30. I better check on the time.
Yeah, it is 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful, Claire. And Claire is going to be, if you're not familiar with the Jedi talks, I liken them to like TED Talks, if you know what those are. She's going to be talking about plant-based lifestyle, why and how. So if you're already vegetarian or vegan and you want to know more, Claire
Or if you're just veg curious.
Yes, I was just going to say that next. There's lots of us who aspire, and we might want to know more about, well, why should I make the leap? And really, it's even reducing is probably good. I think Claire will probably tell us, and then make the leap when you're ready.
Meatless Mondays. It's a big thing now. Meatless Mondays.
Oh, okay. So that it's good. Anyway, so come and listen to, or stay at home and just click and listen to Claire. So that's all the announcements that I think I have for now. Yeah, that's good enough. Sherry's nodding her head, so I think I'm in the right place. So our closing song tonight, Oseh Shalom, to a more upbeat melody by a cousin of a good friend of ours, Yoel Sykes.
Yeah. Oseh Shalom Bimrolah. Oseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Yisrael. Ve'al Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimrolah. Oseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Yisrael.
a
I was.
couple of times, but it was my computer.
Oh, okay. Well,
having trouble.
if you have your Kiddush cup at home, this is the
Okay.
time to raise it up. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat v'shabbat kadsho. Sherry, can you? I got a little thing.
באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Did you have a hairball?
Yeah.
Time to cut the beard.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's right. Crazy. All right. Okay, if you've got some challah at home. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in song together as our grateful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, motzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'avon.
Te'avon, that's a beauty.
Yeah, so Shabbat Shalom to everybody. I'm going to remove the spotlights here. Unmute yourselves. Say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey,
Hi there.
We
Flossie.
had a
out
few
there in
people join
Basra.
Hi,
us tonight.
Judy.
Karen. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Judith.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi.
Henry, nice to see you, Henry.
Henry,
Hi,
there they are.
All right.
Andrea.
Guys.
Paul.
Let's see who else is there.
Hi,
Elsa.
Hi, Elsa.
Let's see.